Please rise while the colors are posted and salute. Former Congressman Michael McNulty will lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two, please remain standing for our opening prayer. Gold Star brother Michael Guynat will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, you who are the source of our life, strength, and purpose, in your presence alone find help, hope, and life. Guide us during this hour of fellowship and reflection to be grounded in a healing reminder of your love to all those lives we touch this day. For it is your glory we gather and offer our prayers. Amen.
Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Tim Forbes, the chairman of the Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Program. We've gathered here this morning to honor a deceased Rensselaer County veteran of the month of November, and that veteran is Richard L. Butterfield. We're honored to have with us this morning his family and friends, Lori and Mark Lash, Hayden Butterfield and Kelly Boyle, his girlfriend. Hayden was his son. A family friend, Scott Gallery from Averill Park. R.J. Butterfield, and Command Sergeant Major retired Frank Wicks. Welcome to you all. Also with us today to honor our Veteran of the Month are the Rensselaer County Executive Stephen McLaughlin, representing Elise Stefanik's office, Reed Chonas, former Congressman Michael McNulty, New York State Senator Jake Ashby, New York State Assemblyman Scott Bendet, our County Legislative Chairwoman Kelly Hoffman, the Vice Chairman of the Legislature Robert Loveridge, our Sheriff of Rensselaer County Pat Russo, the Undersheriff PJ Higgett, our Rensselaer County Court Judge Deborah Young. We have numerous members of local law enforcement, stretching all the way down to Columbia County. Welcome aboard. Legislators Dan Casal, Tom Grant, Kelly Hoffman, Nina Nichols, and Carol Weaver. We have our Director of the Veteran Service Agency, Mr. Kevin Miller. As we are all aware, Memorial Day and Veterans Day are special days to remember all of our veterans. This program was created to help us honor our veterans all year round. To us here in Rensselaer County, every day is Veterans Day. The Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Program represents veterans organizations throughout the entire county. This includes members of the American Legion, the Disabled American Veterans, the Veterans of Lansingburg, the Military Order of Purple Heart, the Marine Corps League, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Korean War Veterans, Tri-County Council Vietnam Era Veterans, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Vietnam Veterans of America, AMVETS, and our own Rensselaer County Veteran Service Agency. I will now ask Kelly Hoffman, the Rensselaer County Legislative Chairwoman, to come forward and to tell us about our honored veteran of the month of November, Richard L. Butterfield. So,
Morning, Colonel. How are you? Good. Thanks for being here. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Hoffman. I'm Chair of the Rensselaer County Legislature, and I am proud to welcome all of you here today to our Veterans Day edition of our monthly Honor a Deceased Veteran program. Many of us attended Veterans Day ceremonies over the last few days, and Veterans Day here are important, they're notable, and however, we celebrate veterans in Rensselaer County all year round, right here in these chambers. Each month, I have the honor and privilege of telling the life story of a Rensselaer County veteran. We use the word hero a lot during this program, but this month's honoree certainly earned that title. Today, we pay tribute to the extraordinary life and military service of a true American hero, Richard Larkin Butterfield. Rick was affectionately known, lived a life of courage, dedicated and a selfless service to others. Born in Mansfield, Ohio in 1945, Rick's journey through life was marked by a deep commitment to his country, his family, and to his community. Today, we remember and honor a man who embodied the principles of honor, duty, and sacrifice. Rick's military journey began when he proudly joined the United States Army in 1963. Commissioned as a second lieutenant upon graduating from Officer Candidate School at Fort Benning, Georgia, Rick's path led him to Vietnam, where he served as a Pathfinder team leader in the 1st Cavalry Division. He faced the crucible of combat and battles at LZ X-Ray, LZ Columbus, and LZ Albany in the Drang Valley. It was there, amidst the chaos of war, that Rick's bravery shone brightest. Wounded, but unwavering, he refused to leave his team until all wounded soldiers were evacuated, a testament to his unwavering commitment to his comrades. Rick's service continued with a second tour in Vietnam, where he served as captain and company commander of E Company, 2nd Battalion, 506th Infantry, 101st Airborne Division. His leadership and courage in the face of adversity were evident as his company conducted numerous combat operations. In 1995, Rick's distinguished military career reached its pinnacle when he was honorably discharged from active duty, having earned 28 personal awards and decorations, including the Purple Heart. He was inducted into the U.S. Army Officer Candidate School Hall of Fame, a well-deserved recognition for his exceptional leadership. But Rick's dedication to service extended beyond the military. He continued to serve with the New York Army National Guard, rising to the rank of Brigadier General before his retirement in 1995. Transitioning to civilian life, Rick spent 35 years with the New York State Police, where his contributions ranged from canine handling to undercover work. His initiatives played a crucial role in many investigations, arrests, and convictions across various criminal activities. Beyond his professional life, Rick was a man of diverse interests and passions. As the Commodore of the Castleton Boat Club, a lifetime member of the Nassau Sportsman's Club, and a board member of Lebanon Valley Speedway, He brought his leadership and enthusiasm to various community organizations. Rick's love for riding his Harley cross-country, boating, fishing, and exploring new restaurants reflected his vibrant and adventurous spirit. Rick also cherished the company of his canine buddy, Harper, who was by his side right till the end. Rick Butterfield was not only a military leader and a law enforcement professional, but he was a devoted family man. He leaves behind his wife, Kathy, his children, Lori, Hayden, and the memory of his son, Eric. As Grandpa Rick, as he was known, he cherished his role in the lives of his grandchildren, leaving a legacy of love and strength. Rick was buried in the Gerald B. H. Solomon National Cemetery in Schuylerville. In this moment of remembrance, let us honor Rick's legacy, a legacy of bravery, resilience, and service to others. May we carry forward the lessons he imparted and strive to live our lives with the same dedication to duty, love for family, and commitment to community that defined Rick and his remarkable journey. Thank you so much to his family and friends for allowing us to honor him today. And thank you so much to everyone in the chamber. We love to see these events well attended, and certainly from the members of law enforcement and all, we thank you very much for being here. At this point, I'd like to introduce our former legislator and Colonel Tom Walsh to say a few words.
Thank you, Kelly. My voice still hasn't returned to normal yet, but I'm going to give it a try here. I've known Rick for a long time. I first served with him on a reforger exercise in Germany. I was assigned temporarily to the unit to fill a vacancy, and so I didn't know too much about that position. It was rear area operations, and when I got over there, we were assigned over in Hanau, a small military base, and Rick showed me what we had to do, and I was always appreciative of that. And one of the things, you get paid if you use the end of your tour over there, and because I was assigned at the last minute, I didn't have any money, and Rick gave me, loaned me some money, and I paid him back when I got back. But here's a man that served 2 tours in Vietnam. He's truly a hero, and we do honor him in this hall today, to our Hall of Heroes. He's on the plaque back there with Reverend Kelly, and we're very proud of him. He certainly didn't end his career with the military, because he served 35 years with the New York State Police, and just like he did in the Army, he did every job he could there too. He just, from K9 to underwater recovery to the BCI. So he really got into it. And he finished up, as I guess, as an undercover officer. And then when he retired, he didn't finish law enforcement. He went to work for the Warren County Sheriff's Department, where again, he was assigned to undercover work along with his patrolling in Lake George. So we certainly are proud of Rick, and very proud of his family too. Letting us honor him today. And he will be placed on a plaque up here again, so he'll have his name in here a couple times. He's certainly well deserved. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. I will now ask our Rensselaer County Executive, Stephen McLaughlin, to come forward.
Thank you, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Great crowd today. Thank you for being here to honor truly an incredible man. Certainly joined by our colleagues in local, state, and federal government. I think it'd be easier to talk about what Rick didn't do than what Rick did do. I mean, that you read that bio, that's an incredible, incredible legacy, an incredible amount of service, and varied and diverse too. It was not all law enforcement. There was a lot of that, but the military aspect of that. Look, he joined in '63. That was like 4 days before I was born, and he had like one hell of a career. 32 years military, 35 years state police. So a lot of that was overlapping, and pardon my language, but he was a badass. That guy, he was something. He could really. He was, I knew Rick not as well as I would have liked, but I used to see him quite a lot at different events. And one of those, you knew he had quite a history and a past, but he didn't talk about it a lot. So, which is typical of guys like that. They're not gonna brag. They're just gonna do, and that's what he did all the time as he served his country, and then came back and served the state and the community in various different ways. So I can't add much to this bio because who could? It speaks for itself. Just an amazing man. We're lucky to have him. We do try to honor our veterans a lot here. The construction you see out front there is a Veterans Memorial Park that we're constructing to honor all of our veterans. But just an amazing man, and we're lucky to have him here in Rensselaer County for as long as we did. So thank you for letting us honor him here today.
Thank you, Steve. I will now ask Reed Cronus, representing Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, to come forward.
I don't have anywhere to put that, so I'm going to hold it. Good morning, everybody. I'm honored to be here on behalf of Congresswoman Stefanik today to remember a great life. I couldn't put it any better than Steve, or really his bio. There's not much to add. I will say that when I was looking over his military records, his service records, to prepare for today, everything was jaw-dropping. It always is, whether we're working for a veteran or honoring one. But this is certainly no exception. His record was impeccable. It was honorable. It was very distinguished, highly decorated. So I just want to thank you for allowing us to come out today to remember him. With me here, I have a flag that has been flown over the United States Capitol in memory of Mr. Butterfield, as well as a congressional record that will be read into the House floor by the Congresswoman, honoring his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Reed. I will now ask New York State Senator Jake Ashby to come forward.
I've got a bit of a handful today. Well, good morning. It's great to be with you this morning. I want to thank all my colleagues in state and local government, federal government for being here, members of the law enforcement community, families and friends of General Butterfield for being here. And what a remarkable life. And for someone like me, a junior officer at one time, to read over General Butterfield's bio, I mean, it's inspiring. It truly is. And one of the things that always stuck out to me was after he was wounded in Ladrang, he went back and served in MACV-SOC, where the average lifespan of a platoon leader in that unit in Vietnam was less than 2 weeks. And he chose, after being wounded, to go back and serve in that unit, and did so for an extended period of time. I mean, it's remarkable. And at a time when our country was pretty divided over the war. And his commitment really rang true, and I think was evident throughout the rest of his life, whether it was to his family, to his colleagues in law enforcement, to the families and friends that he served with throughout New York State. His commitment was real, and it could be felt. And I know that it inspired a lot of people in my generation especially. And I think it's very appropriate that we reflect on his service, being that this year is the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. I don't think I could think of too many other people who we should think about and remember during this time, so close to Veterans Day, this year marking the end of the Vietnam War, than General Butterfield, and how much he gave to his state, his country, his family, and his friends. So I want to thank you for letting me be here with you today and honoring him. He's also our New York State Senate Veteran of the Year for this district, and is in the New York State Veterans Hall of Fame. So I have a few accolades to pass out for that as well. And again, I can't think of anyone more deserving than him. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. I will now ask New York State Assemblyman Scott Bendet to come forward.
You'll have to excuse me if I seem a little nervous. When I first became a legislator, we honored retired Brigadier General Butterfield, and Bill Huffey gave me a rash of hoo-ha because I didn't call him a lieutenant. I called him LT or something like that. So I got to make sure I'm on my game here. I met Rick Butterfield through my store, through him smoking cigars at my store and hanging out there towards the end of his life for the last few years. And I was very lucky to have the opportunity to meet a lot of his friends. As RJ told me, he was on the dive team, and I didn't know that, but I know one of his dear friends who he worked with, and these guys would come into the store and tell all kinds of great stories, and it was remarkable. And in talking to a few of retired Brigadier General Butterfield's friends, he was always in harm's way. He always put himself in harm's way. And the one word that comes to my mind is just legend. He was just a legend from our town, from our community. And every month we have people that we honor that were just ordinary people that did some extraordinary things, whether it be in Vietnam or through their service, and come back home and live a community service-driven life. And then we have retired Brigadier General Butterfield, who kept it going and did remarkable things, amazing things. and the kind of things that make the hair stand up on the back of your head kind of things. And just to be able to be here, to know somebody like him even exists in our country is inspirational for everybody. Whether joining the service, whether joining the state police, whether helping somebody when they're in need, the fact that he was always willing to put himself in harm's way is just an unbelievable life that he led. And like everybody else here, I think that we're all just grateful to have the opportunity to honor somebody who did such great things, not only for our country, our state, our community, our town, our county, but just somebody who led a life that was really well lived. And on behalf of New York State Assembly, on behalf of myself and my colleague John McDonald, who couldn't make it today, but who sends his best regards, I'd like to present you with this citation from the New York State Assembly, and thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I will now ask Kelly Nappy, representing Colonel Fisher of the Waterville Arsenal, to come forward.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to start by thanking former Congressman McNulty for beginning this tradition and the Rensselaer County Legislature for continuing it. I'm here on behalf of Waterville Arsenal Commander Colonel Fisher and the men and women of America's Cannon and Mortar Factory. Unfortunately, Colonel Fisher's unable to attend today. He was away on travel. But please know this is a very important event for him to honor our veterans. So he generally tries to make it to these events. He asked that I attend today to present the family of Richard Butterfield with the certificate of recognition for the life and service. What an impressive and remarkable life that was, serving your nation and then moving on to serving the community in law enforcement. That's a pretty rare find out there. So again, on behalf of Colonel Fisher and the men and women of Waterville Arsenal, thank you to Richard Butterfield family for sharing Richard's life with us today.
Thank you, Kelly. I'll now ask Joe Simonek from the Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Committee to present the committee plaque at this time. Will the committee members please rise? Thank you, Joe. Please stand for our closing prayer.
Day is done, dawn the sun, from the lake, the hill, and the sky, all is well. God of compassion, dignity, and strength, watch over this veteran and his family. Bless him and grant his family comfort and everlasting peace. Rest in peace, Rick. Amen.
Amen.
Retire the colors. And salute. 2. This concludes our Honor a Vet ceremony for this month. Thank you for coming to honor our deceased Veteran of the Month of November, Richard L. Butterfield. Please join us for our next Honor a Veteran ceremony scheduled for December 11th in honor of Roger W. Hogle. Before we go our separate ways, we will take a few family photos up front. Then we're going to reassemble shortly at our county flag ball out in the front of the building in memory of Richard. Thank you all again.